Aloha, Rich Alverson here. This is ICS211. And in this video, I'm going to continue on with chapter 4, section on do-while loops. So do-while loops, every language has got a do-while loop construct. With the do-while loop, it's just like a while loop, except for the condition, the expression, the test to see whether you loop again is at the bottom of the loop instead of at the top of the loop. Okay, so the only difference that makes is that the loop is always going to be there's always going to be at least one pass through the executable part of the loop. You'll notice in some while loops that you've created, you have a section just above the while loop to get things started, and then inside the while loop you often will duplicate some code because you got to read stuff in before you can do the first test. And so a do while loop can help in those cases where you're gonna have to read in stuff anyway. And so by just putting the test at the bottom of the loop, you only have to write that code once. So anyway, it's pretty simple. This is the do, and then the curly braces enclose the loop body, and then a while and the loop expression. And when this continues to be positive, it continues to loop. So of course you want to have something inside the loop to make sure that this thing will become negative sometime or become false sometime, so it ends. All right, so you can go through this and make sure you understand it. Let's do some of these challenges here. 1, 2. All right. Complete the do while loop to output 0 from 0 to the value of count limit using print val. Assume the user will only input a positive number. For example, if count limit is 5, then the output will look like this. Okay, so we read in a count limit, let's say 5, and start out with 0, and we have start a do loop here. While we print it out, put a space, and add 1 to it, and we do this while print val is less than count limit. And so while it's less than count limit, in other words, when it's 4, it'll loop again. It'll print out the 4. We'll add 1 to it, and then when it's 5, it'll stop. We want the 5 to print. So I think we want this to be less than or equal to. Let's see if it's right. Ah, yes. Okay, what's this one? Write a do-while loop that continues to prompt the user to enter a number less than 100 until the entered number is actually less than 100. And each prompt with a new line. So in other words, if the user enters this, 123, nope. 395, nope. 25, yes, and it prints this out. So first we're going to do do, right? Do while system out print line print enter a number less than 100. Didn't mean that yet. Colon. I don't know. Did I put a space here or not? I'm going to put a space there just to see what happens. Print that out, and then if I got to read it in. User input equals scnr dot next int. If user input is greater than or equal to 100, then system out print no. Until, oh, not until, it's while. The word while, some languages it's until. While user input is greater than or equal to 100. Okay, I think that's all I need to do. So I come in here, I print on enter a number, I read in a number. Is it greater than or equal to 100? Yes, it is. So keep on, go back up and ask again until this fails, in which case it's going to be less than 100, and then it's going to print that out. So is this right? Oh, I forgot to put an ln here. Well, you can fix that. All right, what's next? Let's see, more for loop examples. It's only 6 minutes into this. Okay. 7. All right, finding the max. Okay, here's a for loop example. You know, for loop is for, you got to initializing the variable. You got to initialize it up here. This is the terminating condition. Each time you execute the loop, you come back and you increment this. You increment I, and then you check the condition. If the condition still holds, you loop again. You take another pass through this. All right, so make sure you understand. It's just the same as any other language. Let's do some. Should take a look at this. What's this one now? Oh, we got a bunch of them here. Wow, a lot of challenges. Okay, what's the first one? Write a for loop that prints 1, 2 up to count num. Okay, so we read in count num, and then we while this, so it's going to do I equals 1. Press start first. I equals 1, comma. Is it comma or semicolon? I think it's semicolon. Yeah, semicolon. Well, I start out with I equals 1, and we go until we go while I is less than or equal to count num. I is less than or equal to count num. And I don't know why they do plus plus I or I plus plus. I like going on plus plus myself. I'm going to see if that works. So this is what we do. Okay, very good. What's the next one? Write code that prints down to that. Sure, okay. Well, you can do this one. This is easy. I'm going to do the third one here. Write code that prints ready, and then the first number all the way down to blast, and then print blast off at the end. Okay, so my code goes here. System out print line, ready. And then for I equals first number, all semicolon, all the way down to I, while I is less than or equal to the 1, I minus minus, I'm going down. While I'm doing that, type the number system out. I. And then when you're all done with that, type system out blast off. See if this is right. Didn't get it right. I forgot to colonize, to close the string, literal. Oh, I didn't print these. I did something wrong. Oh, this is wrong. Oh, while it's greater than or equal to 1, I see the problem. While it's greater than or equal to 1, I print, not less than or equal to 1. Okay, so what happens was it didn't do anything until it got down to 1, and then it just started generating too much output. Doesn't see, look at that. Oops. Oops. Oh my, all right. Let's go back and fix that. So yes, I fixed it by making it while before I starts at a big number, and then while it's greater than or equal to 1, then do this otherwise decrement by 1. So this should work. There we go. Okay, wonderful. Let's do the last one. All right. Write a for loop that prints from start number to end number. Okay, what's so hard about that? For I equals start number. Oh, wait a minute. Am I always going to assume that n number is less than, is always going to be greater than? Okay, I guess it's always. I'm going to assume it's always going to be n number is always going to be greater than start number. So I starts out at start number. Then while I is less than or equal to n number, we're going to increment I plus plus. Is this all? Yeah, goodness. All right, you can do 2 and 4. What's next? Assign a variable min val with the lowest value of 6 positive floating point values read from input. So we're going to read all these from input, and we're going to print out the smallest value. All right, my code goes here. Let's start this up. It's going to be, I'm going to start out with, I'm supposed to use a for loop. Okay. Let me read Let me do inval equals SCNR dot next double. And then I'm going to say minval equals inval. Okay, so I start out that way. And I'm going to do 4. I might not need all that up there. 4I equals 6. It's going to be 6 of them. 1, I is less than or equal to 6. I plus plus. While we're doing that, do this. Do that. And if inval is less than, supposed to output the smallest one, right? Yeah. If it's less than minval, then minval equals inval. Now, I only have to do this. It's 2 through 6, and it doesn't matter what the numbers are. It's just that it's going to have to do one more than 1 through 6, because I've already read the first one, and then I go and read the second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth each time going through this. Let's see if this is right. Nice. All right, what's the next one? I'll just tell you how to do this one. Integers read. Okay, first we're going to read the number of integers to be read. So that's going to be the how many times the for loop loops. Use a loop to read the remaining integers for input. And then we're supposed to output the lowest one, I guess. Okay, so first of all, we're going to do, first you would do, first read in the number of times the for loop. Oh, that's what this is, val count. Okay, that's the for loop. And then I'm going to go for I equals 1. I is less than or equal to val count. I plus plus. And the loop we're going to do, well, let's read the first value, okay? SCNR next int I'm just gonna say lowest val equals that, okay? And then I'm gonna say from 2 up to val count. And I'm gonna say input val equals SCNR dot next int. Then I'm going to say if input val is less than lowest val, then set lowest val equal to input val. And then I'm done. Oh, I got to print the lowest thing. Oh, I'm supposed to print each one. Okay, let's print each one. Well, I'm just gonna. I don't think a while loop is the for loop's right for this one, but I'm gonna say system out print line value red space plus lowest val. And then here I'm going to say the same thing, sort of. This is going to be value red input val, and this is going to be lowest. Now, when I read this up here, I could have read it into input val and then set lowest val equal input val equal to input val, kind of like how I did in the last one, but I just sidestepped that. But so here, the first value I read is actually this, and then after that, I read, you know, the next one and the next one, 2 to 3, and then it's whatever is going to figure out what the lowest one is, so that's going to get stored in here. Anyway, so I think that's right. Anyway, you can confirm that. All right, let's do this one. Declare a Boolean value named this, and then read a bunch of integers. And then use a loop to read them all up. And if the number of integers is odd, assign all odd to be true. No, if all the integers are odd. Otherwise, if assign all odd to be false. So if they're all odd, say all odd is true. Otherwise, say all odd is false. The code ends at the code at the end of main outputs all match. Okay, let's see what's trying to go on here. Okay, so anyway, I guess I got to declare a variable called. I press start. Okay, I'm going to declare a variable called all odd. Boolean variable called all odd. Then I'm going to have a loop here for, oh, I got to read in num ints. Okay. SVNR. The next int, and that's going to be num ints. And then I'm going to have a loop. I'm going to use I for the variable int I, and I'm going to say for I equals 1, I less than or equal to num ints I plus plus. For all of these, I'm going to say, I'm going to start out, I'm going to initialize all odd equals true, just to start this dude out. And then I'm going to keep on looping. And once I find one that's not true, that's not odd, I'm going to set that all odd equal to false. And that's the end of that. Okay. Although I'm going to finish out the loop because it's got to finish reading the numbers. So I'm going to say, what's the number to read in? I got to read in the number. Read it. In int. How's that for a variable name? I'm going to say is int, the input, the integer that's input, and I'm going to say in int equals SCNR next int, and if in int in int mod 2. If in int mod 2 equals 0, that means it's an even number. It means it's not an odd number. Then I say all odd equals false. Okay. Now I'm going to have to finish out the loop just because there's going to be some more integers there. There may be some more integers because it said there's going to be 3 that were read in, and my first one might be an even number, and then it doesn't matter because we know it's all up. But we just going to read the rest of them in, and we say if all odd is true, then all match it. Is this it? Well, I'm going to see if this is the right answer. Well, what do you know about that? All right, let's see what this next one is. I'll just tell you how to do it, and then you can. 26 minutes. Boy, these are long sections. All right, declare a Boolean variable called all allowed. Let's do that right now. Boolean all allowed. And let's then read an integer input count. Has that been declared? No, oh, there it's declared. Read an input integer representing the number of integers to be read. Okay, so let's read in some integers. Input count equals, scanner next int. Okay, so that's the number to be read in. And then I'm going to have some kind of for loop or something. What am I going to do? I'm going to read in the remaining integers. If none of the input count integers are in the range of the range, assign all allowed. Otherwise, assign. Okay, so they all have to be I don't have to list the I don't have to list the values that were not allowed. I only have to say that it's not allowed. Okay, so I'm going to start out saying everything is true. So I'm just going to say equal true here. Yeah, I think I can do it. And then I'm going to do if, no, why, no, for, oh, I need to declare an int I. And am I reading in something too? Reading in a value? Okay, int read value, read value, how's it? For I equals 1, I less than or equal to input count, I plus plus. I'm going to read it in, read value equals scnr dot next int. And if read value is if none of the input integers are in the range, then they're all allowed. If none of them are in the range, so they all have to be outside the range. 10,000 from minus 10,000 to minus 9,000. Okay. So if none of them are in that range, so if any of them are in the range, then there are unallowed values. So if read value is greater than or equal to minus 10,000, and read value is less than or equal to minus 9,000, that's a bigger number than minus 10,000. If it is in that range, then we have some unallowed values. If it's in that range, then set all allowed equal to false. And that's it. By pow. Oh, shoot. That's the second one. Well, I'm going to let you see if that's correct. This is the end of 4.6. It's been 31 minutes. So I will quit here and make a new video. Thanks for watching.